A lot of people end up going to other people's houses for the holidays and they want to bring along some food, but they want something that will pack easily and that will stand out on the table for a little while and be okay. It doesn't need to go directly into the oven and come directly out of the oven to be served. Something that's a little bit versatile. So I developed this Thanksgiving-inspired pasta salad that can come together in an instant, so you can do it all last minute, and you can bring it along to a potluck party, or you can just set it out if you're the one being the host and let people enjoy it, and it's sort of one of those worry-free holiday-inspired dishes. And it starts out with, the basic ingredients are a little bit of red onion for color, some dried cranberries for sweetness, which is sort of a holiday-inspired thing. I have a little bit of roasted squash. I have actually roasted pumpkin right here that's left over from another use. But you can buy that pre-chopped up butternut squash at like Trader Joe's or Safeway, and you can just microwave it, and it takes just a couple of minutes, and you have hot cooked chunks of squash. You don't have to peel, you don't have to roast, you don't have to do any of that. Parsley and pine nuts, but you could use hazelnuts or pecans, and then just a little bit of a balsamic vinaigrette and some orzo. And it stands out really well. You can serve it warm, you can serve it room temperature, and it's just easy to put together, so I'm going to show you how to do it. I have a little bit of chopped up red onion. This is about, for a pound of pasta, you want about half of a small red onion. I don't like it too oniony. I'm using half a pound, so I'm going to use about a quarter of it. And I like to use, because I'm making a balsamic vinaigrette, I'm going to splash a little bit of the balsamic vinegar over the onions now, because it takes away a little bit of the bite of the onion, kind of mellows it out and sweetens it and breaks it down just a little bit. So I'm going to let that sit and hang out. I'm going to put a sprinkling of salt on it now. And then basically it's just a matter of getting together your ingredients. Chopping up your parsley, microwaving your squash, or getting it out of the fridge, and cooking up some orzo. And orzo is the sort of rice-shaped pasta that you can find in most supermarkets. It's small, you can eat it in a quick bite, you don't have to twirl, and it's really tasty. You could even make the salad with leftover cooked rice if you wanted to, and that would probably be good also. I'm going to quickly put together the vinaigrette for the salad, which is, I've got the balsamic vinegar on the onions. They've been hanging out. Let's say they've been hanging out for 5-10 minutes. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard to this, because this is sort of a savory salad. We've got some sweet elements with the cranberries, but you're almost thinking of this as like a Thanksgiving style stuffing sort of thing, but it's in a pasta salad format. So I'm going to stir the mustard into the balsamic vinegar that has the onions in it. And then I'm going to drizzle in some olive oil. And I have about a tablespoon or so of balsamic vinegar, and so I'm going to put in, normally a ratio for a vinaigrette is 3-to-1, but because balsamic vinegar is fairly sweet, I'm really only going to do probably about 2 tablespoons of oil to the 1 tablespoon of vinegar, because it doesn't need all that extra fat to balance out the tartness, because it's not a super tart vinegar. I'm going to throw in some of the dried cranberries now, about a handful. Let those absorb the vinegar. Put in my roasted squash, and again, remember you can use the pre-cubed butternut squash in a package that you just microwave. I'm going to toss that all with the vinaigrette. And then I'm going to dump in my orzo. And this was half a pound of orzo right here, which it's quite a bit. If you're, there are going to be a lot of people there, go for the full pound and, up your ingredients. This is really to your taste. So, whatever sounds good to you is what works. Let's just toss this. And I'm just using a fork. You don't have to use any special equipment. You just want to get the pasta to sort of absorb that balsamic-y, Dijon-y vinaigrette, combine with the onions, sort of the sweet tart cranberries, the little chunks of squash, which add some sweetness and some color also, and also a little bit of body. And then I'm using toasted pine nuts to add a little bit of crunch and a little bit of nuttiness, but I think hazelnuts or pecans would be delicious also. Be sure you toast them for something like this, because it's being served as is. You're not going to cook it anymore. And a sprinkling of chopped up Italian parsley for color. actually a fairly generous sprinkling, I think is a good idea. And there you have it. How long did that take? It's like instant Thanksgiving.